Our movie starts in 1991 with Inspector Nick from the San Francisco police who are investigating a crime. Johnny Boz, the rock and roll star who died, was killed. Due to 31 stabs from the ice pick in his bed, all the suspicions are turning toward his girlfriend, Catherine, who works. The author in Beirut has a cake to interrogate her and doesn't take any right or wrong with her. And he leaves and goes to the psychiatrist Beth, who is conducting sessions with her. Consultation sessions ordered by the Ministry of Interior after accidentally killing 2 tourists while under the influence the effect of cocaine, and then he gathers information about he breaks down and learns that her parents died in an explosion accident. A boat, and she was engaged to a boxer during the match, and she has a fortune estimated at £10,000 million, and that she published a novel last year. Its name is The Painful Love, and the subject talks about a rock and roll star. Rock and roll is killed by his girlfriend with a rock. Ice cold, they hold a meeting and bring in a doctor. The psychologist Dr. Lamore, who tries to analyze Catherine's character through her story, and he says either she is the criminal, and her story will serve as her alibi, or that there is someone obsessed with her to the extent that he is executing every letter in her story to fabricate the accusation to her, and they are trying to break her to interrogate her. And she insists on bringing a lawyer with her so that she doesn't have anything to hide. And John, the assistant prosecutor, asks her, the prosecutor, about the nature of her relationship with the victim, so she tells them, I was in a relationship with him for a period of 1.5 years, and during this relationship, we were practicing new sexual things, and John asks him, did you kill Mr. Boz? And as expected, you say that it's foolish to commit a crime the same way as in the story. The one who is locked up means that it's like I'm announcing to everyone that I'm the killer, and I'm not stupid enough to do that. And she said, I didn't say that, I was just practicing with him. A relationship, and we were using cocaine together, and he puts it indeed on the lie detector, and she succeeds in passing the test, and he takes her home in his car. He tells her that not just anyone passes through the lie detector test. She told him, I passed it just like you. You gave him an hour after he killed the tourists, and he arrives. And he goes back to drink with his friends, telling them that he is not comfortable with Catherine and is sure there is something behind it because it's not normal that her family and her boxer fiancé and her boyfriend dies without any suspicion on her part. He doesn't drink, he meets the psychiatrist. And he spends the night with her, then goes to the police station. And he goes to Officer Walker, who tells him that there was a crime with the same details that happened in 1980 with a university professor who also died from a snowstorm. And Catherine was his student, and he was also her doctor. The psychiatrist, and we will investigate Catherine's life completely, and he is responsible for monitoring her house and her movements, and Nick moves to her house and watches. And she visits a woman named Hazel Dubkis. And when he is released, he discovers that Hazel was accused for the murder of her husband and her 3 children in 1956. The next day he goes to ask her about her psychiatrist, and whether she had any relationship with him. There, he finds all his pictures and news in the newspapers, and he asks about the reason, and she tells him she will take it as a reference for the main character in her new novel, and she asks about his feelings when he killed the tourists while he was high on cocaine and unconscious. This is the truth your wife couldn't bear, that's why she killed herself. And he leaves and goes to the psychiatrist, his therapist, and he argues with her because he is sure that Catherine saw his psychological file and learned important information about his life, and she tells him that Officer Nelson he is the one who sold his file to her, so he goes up to his office. And he hit him in front of the whole department and let him go, but at night, he gets a call that Nelson he was killed and he needs to attend immediately, so he goes to the crime scene. And he finds that Nelson is dead from a bullet in his brain, and Nico is being interrogated and asked. The lieutenant asks if he is the one who killed Nelson or not, so Nick tells him, it's stupid to commit a murder against someone I just had a fight with. Now I'm announcing it to everyone, and I'm not stupid to do that, and the answer is no, it's not me. The one who killed him, but he was also suspended from work. until his self-assessment and his colleague's pardon are issued. Sammy, who was responsible for investigating the ship explosion. Catherine's family said that the boat exploded due to a leak. The Zane cylinder that was repaired twice before. And her family didn't insure themselves for $5 million. $1 million, and Nick goes back to his house, and he finds he broke in front of her, waiting for her to give him a copy of her story. Its hero is a small child who kills his parents by he blows up their private plane out of mere curiosity. The child who will see if he can escape the crime. Or not, and she tells him, "I'm waiting for you tonight." At night, Nick goes to the casino. And he meets Catherine and spends the night with her at her house. And Roxy, Catherine's lover, sees them together. She gets into a fight with her because she had a relationship with Nick. Night comes and there is a car watching. She tries to hit him and run him over, but he slips away from her, gets into his car, and drives after her. The car until the car falls from above the bridge, and Nick gets down to see who's driving it. And I find Roxy, my beloved, broken, and then I write that Roxy was accused of the case of slaughtering her siblings. She was 16 years old and entered the events and served her time. Her duration is over, and she goes to Sharon, and Bella finds her sad about the death of her friend, and she tells him that she has no luck with her friends. Her friends completely since university days, even her first friend. Her friend named Lisa, who was strange, and she started to kick her out, dress up, and do her hair like her, and she suspects that she is the one who killed Johnny Boss. Nick investigates her with his friend Sam until he discovers that Lisa is Dr. Beth herself, and he confronted her and said, "I know everything," and she replied that Catherine is also mentally ill and that she was the one who was watching, and she fabricated the whole story to escape her crime and not know who to believe. Which one of them, when he goes back home, finds many who she tells him, "If you don't believe me, go to the university. You'll find that I had filed a report against Lisa a long time ago because of her being absent, but he can't find the report in the university archive. The university archive because there is an officer named Nelson took it and hasn't returned it for a whole year, and that's what made him suspect Lisa more. What made him suspect Lisa more was that she was the one who killed Nelson after he found out about her attempt to imitate Catherine. For Catherine, and she got rid of him just to distance herself from any suspicion linking her to Catherine, and is trying Nick that he knows any information about Lisa's husband, the previous one, but he discovers that he was killed 5 years ago by being shot in his car, and the case hasn't been closed yet. It hasn't been closed because the perpetrator hasn't been caught yet. And one of his friends comes to him and says that he has arrived to the address of one of Catherine and Lisa's friends from university days, and she knows a lot about them. A lot, and indeed he goes to her, but her friend comes out first. He goes to her alone first, but he gets killed first. He doesn't open the door using a tool, breaking the ice, and unfortunately, Nick can't save him. And he is looking for the killer, and he understands, and she tells him that she received a message on her phone to meet your friend. But Nick shoots her and she dies, and then the lieutenant comes. Lieutenant Walker investigates the case and opens an apartment. Bees and Bella find in Catherine's novels a gun similar to the gun with which Nelson was killed, apart from the pictures. Many lives of many people over the years, so they built a network. That he caught the criminal and that the case was closed. And when he returns home, he finds a break-in at his place, and she tells him, "I found out what happened and that I love you," and he spends a night together, and while they are with each other, as if she is picking something up from the ground, but she hesitates. And she goes back to hug him, and the film ends with a scene. An icebreaker tool on the ground, and this it makes us think about who the real killer is.